Hey guys, it's Marissa at kitchentablestamper.com. Today I've got a beautiful candy box for you. It's a sneak peek of the new Christmas season bundle from Stampin' Up. It's a 14-piece photopolymer stamp set and coordinating seasonal labels dies. When you buy these two together, you save 10%, and these are available right now for new demonstrators in their starter kit. So if you've ever thought about joining Stampin' Up, you can choose these in your starter kit right now. If you join August 3rd through Celebration, you can choose a free bundle with your starter kit. So being a demonstrator is just more fun. You get more product for less cost and you get it first. So this is a sneak peek. You can purchase this as your customer starting August 3rd. All right, so let me show you really quick. This is our candy box. This is also our Stampin' Anonymous feature tutorial. So if you're not familiar with the Stampin' Anonymous tutorials, every month I have a new bundle of 6 tutorials. There's 5 other awesome anonymous stampers who contribute a tutorial each. And when you purchase Stampin' Up from me, products from me, the tutorial bundle is my free gift to you. So this is one of the 6 tutorials. Well, not exactly. We case it. We case a feature tutorial each month. So this is my case of one of our Stampin' Anonymous tutorials. All right, for this awesome candy box, you're gonna start with a piece of soft succulent cardstock. This is 9 3/4 by 7 inches, and you're gonna score 1.5, 4.5, 6, and 9. Then rotate once to the right, and you'll score at 1/2 inch, 2 inches, 5 inches, and 6.5. You are going to want to get the July Stampin' Anonymous tutorial so you can see the gorgeous tutorial made by one of our anonymous stampers. All right, let's put together our candy box. We're going to start by working all of these score lines with a bone folder. Burnish all the lines. All right, so we've worked all of our scores. Now we're going to trim it according to the template. The template will be available on the blog in the printable project sheet. We're going to start at the end here with that 1.5 inch score line. So there's 1.5 inches here. There's a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch over here. So this more narrow side, this is your tuck tab. That's going to be in your right hand. In your left hand, you've got this 1.5 inch. And we're going to cut out the score line here, this first vertical score line, but you're going to stop at the second horizontal and then just cut out a little like a little wedge, and then you're going to cut off at the first horizontal score line. And you want to rotate 180 degrees and do the same thing on this side. And there it is. Now let's go back to our original position, and on this one we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut the vertical score line out, stopping at the second horizontal one. But this time we're going to leave that little rectangle. All right, let's rotate to the other side and do the same thing. There it is. Now back to our original position. This time we're just going to cut off the score line nice and generous. Stop at the corner, rotate, and then take out these 4 rectangles in the corner. See that? You're going to take this whole segment out, cut off the tab here. And now the same thing on the other side. All right, let's get a corner rounder, and we're going to tidy this up around the corners on our inside flap and our tuck tab. So it'll look like that. And you can use whatever corner rounder you have, but if you don't have one, the Stampin' Up! Detail Trio has a corner rounder on it. So if you're looking for one, that's our current product with a corner rounder. All right, there's our box. Now let's get some tear and tape adhesive. We're going to put tear and tape on these 4 squares that'll make up our box, and I like to do equal sign. So I'm going to do that on all 4 tabs. Now, before we put the box together, let's put the designer series paper on the top. We've got this beautiful cherry cobbler stripe. It's 2 3/4 inch square. And I'm just gonna apply it using some multi-purpose liquid glue. And we're gonna center it right in this square here that makes up the top of our box. Beautiful. I love cherry cobbler and soft succulent. Isn't it beautiful together? All right, so our designer series paper came from the 6x6 Tidings of Christmas paper. Let me give you a little peek at this. Now, this is the designer series paper that's in the current annual catalog. Its color palette is Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent, Cherry Cobbler, Sahara Sand, and oh, look at that. I love that chevron pattern. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that with the Soft Succulent and the Sahara Sand. Wow! It got away from us. All right, and then I believe there's just a little bit of Misty Moonlight in there also. Yeah, that's Misty Moonlight. Isn't that neat paper? So that one's currently available from the annual catalog. That might take your pick tool. That's going to make it so much easier to get all this release paper off. I'm going to peel all these and then we'll assemble our box. All right, there it is. We're going to go from the front of the box, square up the corner, and burnish. Now the back of the box, square up the corner and burnish. Same thing on this side. And there is our beautiful little candy box. Oh, I almost forgot. I did a tiny little tab there, like a thumb tab. So let me show you. Got grid paper here from the Stampin' Up! Grid paper. And it's got a centering ruler on it. This is a 3-inch box. So we're just going to mark center. Just a little tab there. So I got a little dot that helps me to do it. You could totally eyeball it if you wanted to, but if you know me, if you hang around kitchen table stamper, you know my eyes are on crooked. All right, there's our little thumb notch, and this is a 1/2-inch circle punch. It's a retired one. You can always get a 1/2-inch circle on Amazon if you need it. Now this box is perfect for wrapped candies. I've got some little silver bells. They're chocolate bells from Palmer. And it holds quite a bit. I've got 9 of them here. And then I've also got a couple of little foil wrapped Santas. Holds a lot, I'm telling you. And its finished measurements are 3 by 3 by 1.5. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now let's do a little decorating. I've got some, I thought silver bells inside. I've got some silver ribbon. Really, it's the gray granite shimmer, but it's got a nice, throws a little silver, which is perfect with our rhinestones and our silver bells inside. And we're going to tie around the lid of the box. That way, your recipient doesn't have to tie and untie to get to the goodies. And once the candies are gone, the box will still be in nice shape. So we're just going to tie that around the lid. Of course, you could tie a bow and stick it on with a glue dot if you wanted to. I tend to feel like a gift isn't a gift if it's not wrapped up with ribbon and tied. So we're going to go around the lid for this one. You could go around the entire box if you wanted to. All right, let's trim this away from the spool. It's so pretty. It's got a little sparkle to it that's just really nice. All right. Now for lots of stamping. I love this stamp set. It makes beautiful projects just so easy. No coloring, no fussy cutting, but you're going to get these gorgeous multicolor two-tone effects so fast and easy. The Christmas season stamp set is photopolymer, so I've got my Stampin' Pierce mat. Let's get some colors here. We've got Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. And I've got Crumb Cake and Early Espresso. We'll start there with those. All so with a 2-step stamp here, we're going to make our holly. We're going to do the leaf and the soft succulent. And then we'll add the details in evening evergreen. Look at how beautiful that is. Got the highlight down the center of the leaf and the shadows. So beautiful. Now the pine cone is also 2 steps. We're going to do this full image with the lighter color. So there's our crumb cake. And then we're going to do the details, the shadows with early espresso. And just line up and stamp over just like we did with the holly. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, and on here we're going to take the evening evergreen and we're going to make a sprig. Gorgeous. And now let me clear these colors away. We're going to bring out some reds and greens, some more greens. Okay, here I have cherry cobbler, real red, pear pizzazz, and soft seafoam. We're going to take our real red and these berries. We're going to stamp those. Set this aside for just a minute. Got another scrap here. We're going to do this sprig of leaves. I love this one. I love the color combinations you can get with this. The shading, we're going to do pear pizzazz. So I like to do the darker color and then stamp over in the lighter. It's a little bit easier to see, to line it up. So we're going to now stamp over it with soft seafoam. And look at the sprigs that we get. Oh, isn't that beautiful? That is good for any project. It's going to be beautiful on this Christmas box, but you can use that spring, summer, winter, and fall. All right, now I'm going to clear away all of these ink pads except for my cherry cobbler for just a minute. We're going to keep that one because we're going to stamp our Merry Christmas sentiment. All right, before we stamp, I'm going to bring in my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Pop a scrap of white cardstock, and we're going to cut this little label. All right, I'm going to show you in just a second. Let me run it through and I'll show you where it came from. This is from the Pretty Pillow Box dies. It was just such a neat shape for this box. I couldn't resist. So it's another little sneak peek. Here it is in white. Slide to the side for a second. We'll be right back to die cutting again in just a second. This is the Pretty Pillow Box die set and this gorgeous label right here. Tag, the label, the skinny one. These are going to come in really handy all the time. But look at the fun treat box too. That's the Pretty Pillow Box. It's a sneak peek. It's coming soon. All right. My sentiment is from an oldie but goodie. You might have this perfectly plaid stamp set. That's where I got my Merry Christmas from. We're going to ink it up in cherry cobbler and stamp it low of center on our label. Centered right to left, but low of center on the label. Isn't that beautiful? I love cherry cobbler. Such a good color. All right, let's bring the little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine back in. All right, this is the Seasonal Labels dies. It's got this gorgeous label. So there's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different labels. But then it's got these little cutouts here so you can make them into tags or ribbon slides. And then it also has all of the botanicals so you can cut out the images that you stamped. We're going to go ahead and cut these out. All right, even on this little teeny little machine, we're going to get all these guys in one pass. Small but mighty. There's our sprigs, our berries, pine cone, and holly. I got one more sprig to cut here. Let me pop this guy in and crank it. And we'll be right back to decorate our box. All right, here's our box, our sample. And ahead of time, I did an extra sprig and a couple of extra boughs. We're going to take our Merry Christmas greeting and put some dimensionals on the back. And then we're going to take our 2 sprigs, our greenery, and we're going to adhere them with multi-purpose liquid glue. So they can go past the edge of the box just a little bit, so don't bring the glue all the way out to the tips of the leaves. And then you can position them so that they just overlap a little bit. Then our Merry Christmas greeting. Isn't that pretty? We're going to do a little surgery on our berries. We're going to cut it down from 4 to 3. Just put that aside. You never know when a berry is going to come in handy. Let's add some dimensional to the end of our leaves. Don't go to the very point because it's going to hang off the edge a little bit. And don't go to the other point too far because it's going to overlap the label a little bit. So now we can remove the release and add just a little dab of glue on the dark end. And we can add our holly, make it holly jolly. So pretty. And then our berries. Don't overlap your greeting. Now I'm going to do some little half a dimensionals here because we're going to add our sprigs to the box. And we'll use dimensionals for that, but they're going to clearly overlap the end of the box. So we'll add a little dimensional and then tuck it under. And this guy gets a little dimensional. And tuck it under. And our third little guy is going to go right in here. So I'm going to put the dimensional right on the box. And tuck my sprig. Then I can take my pine cone, multi-purpose liquid glue. Add that to the arrangement. Don't cover your greeting. Look at how pretty. Now it just needs a little bit of sparkle. Let's grab some rhinestone basic gems and give a little bling. All right, it's time for a little classic sparkle. Got my take your pick tool and I'm going to choose this biggest guy, put it at the top of my pine cone, and then a little one. And another little one to make a triangle. Then I'm going to take a medium-sized one, put it on the edge of my greeting, and one more little one off the bottom. So 5. I loves odd numbers. Right, there it is. There's our sneak peek for the August-December holiday catalog from Stampin' Up. You'll be able to pick up these products soon. If you've got any questions about the project, email marisa@kitchentablestamper.com. And to shop 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.